Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video I'm going to show you how to improve iOS 11 battery life. But before we begin, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch our 2017 movie, Detective Jones and the Fate of America. Go watch it, go support the homie. But yeah, this is going to be a tips and tricks video on how to improve iOS 11 battery life. First, let's start with the tips, which I'm just going to talk to the camera about. Tip number 1, don't overcharge your iPhone. In other words, don't charge your phone at night. Because the iPhone is not smart enough, at least as far as I know, it's not smart enough to stop charging once it reaches 100%. So if you charge your phone at night, once the iPhone reaches 100%, it's still going to charge, destroying the battery. You can overcharge once in a while, but don't overcharge it every single night. Tip number 2, don't use your phone while it's charging. Just like the other one, the iPhone battery can't handle multitasking in that way. Because if you're charging your phone and you're using it, you're also draining the battery that's been charged. So the iPhone battery keeps charging and then, loses battery, then charges again, then loses it. Don't do it like that. Even though it may look like, the iPhone is going up perfectly, it's not like a MacBook, it's not like a computer where once you plug it in, it remains, charging. It will continue to drop charging and have to recharge it, I guess, if that makes any sense. And the third tip is drain your battery all the way up to 0%, then charge it all the way back up to 100% without using your phone while it's charging. This way, the iPhone recalibrates the battery percentage and gives a more accurate telling of your battery. Because sometimes on iPhones and stuff, the iPhone can drop from 99% all the way to 96% in the span of a minute or something, and that's not really the battery life. It's mainly just the iPhone glitching out, not glitching out, but just it's just the iPhone can't really function itself. That's why you gotta drain the iPhone battery all the way down to 0% and then charge it all the way back up to 100%. You should only do this once a month. They call it recalibrating the iPhone battery. So yeah, those are the tips. Do those first. Do those 3 things first. It can help improve your battery life. And if those don't help, or if you want even more, improvement to the battery life, then, let's get into the tricks. The first tip I recommend is turning on airplane mode when you are not using cellular data up here. A good time to turn airplane mode on is when you go to bed, because most likely, are you getting calls when you're, sleeping? Are you getting text messages? Well, that could be a possibility, but most likely, you'll be sleeping. You'll be knocked out cold. So, I recommend you swiping up to access the new control center in iOS 11. Go download it, and then simply turning on airplane mode. Another trick to save battery life is turning off dynamic wallpapers. So, what you want to do is go into settings, go to wallpapers, and let's just choose a new wallpaper. Most people, if we click on not dynamic, not the actual dynamic, I'm talking about stills. So let's just say you want to pick Hurricane Irma wallpaper. The reason why I'm calling it that is because Hurricane Irma is actually there in the picture. I don't know why Apple did that. They're the biggest troll of all time. Anyway, it will default towards on right there. Do you see that? Well, they call it perspective, but dynamic wallpaper, same thing. So if I lift the phone up, you can tell how do you see that 3D effect pretty much? I don't know if you guys can see it, but the time and the clock is moving. Yeah, this is cool. It's a gimmick feature though in iOS. What you gotta do to save battery, turning this off. It doesn't track your gyroscope as much. So to do that, you just simply click still, and now it won't move. It doesn't have to be through the settings wallpapers. It's even your own wallpaper. So let's just click on this. See perspective. Same thing, it moves, just like that. So you click on still, and now it's still, saving more battery life just like that. Another thing you should turn off in the settings app is auto brightness. This, here let me just show you. You go into settings, you X out of wallpaper, you go down to display and brightness. Actually, I take that back. You don't go there, because that's why I went in the first time and got fooled, because Apple moved it again in iOS 10 or 11. You go into general, accessibility, and then here you click on display, whatever that says, I don't really care. And then right here, auto brightness, and you want to turn it off. This pretty much means that your iPhone will detect the lighting around you using the proximity sensor, right? Is that the sensor that they use? Anyway, they use the black dot right there, the top camera, not camera, that's camera, they use that sensor and track your lighting in the room and then adjust the brightness. People say this helps with battery life, but in reality, it does not, because it's using more battery life to change the display or the brightness. Another thing you should turn on, this time you turn on, is limit ad tracking. This pretty much means that, ads won't be able, it limits the ads. So what you want to do is go into settings, which, go all the way back to the main screen right here. Then you want to go to privacy. Then you want to click on advertising. Almost forgot it for a second. And then you want to turn this on, limit ad tracking. It limits ad tracking your location, and and your iPhone loses battery the more it, gives out your location to other advertisements. So turn that on. It helps with battery life a lot. Another thing you should do in iOS 11 to improve your battery life is the notifications. Okay, wrong app. What you want to do is go into settings, not Pixelmator, or if that was the app's name, I kind of don't remember. But you go into settings, you go down to notifications, and in here you want to turn off apps that you don't need notifications coming through. So like 8-Ball Pool, I don't need notifications for that. Action Movie, right? Yeah, Action Movie, I don't need notifications for that. Calendars, yes I do, because I want notifications of events and other stuff like that. I recommend games you turn off, but like social media apps and social networking sites and social stuff you turn on. That way your iPhone doesn't keep lighting up and like giving you notifications of random apps that you don't need notifications for. Another thing you should turn off is app background refresh. So again, settings again, of course. You scroll down to general. Now it's right here, background app refresh, not app background refresh, whatever I said. Here, this pretty much means that, let's just say you have Instagram open, right? You use Instagram a lot, and if you have this toggle on, Instagram is on or whatever, and you have Instagram in the background, Instagram will refresh itself every time in the background. So once you open Instagram, you scroll through it and you X out, and if you open Instagram again an hour later, you don't have to wait for it to refresh the page, or you don't have to refresh the page. It will be loaded freshly, if that makes any sense. But it takes out battery life, so you turn it off in here. Yeah, like for this one, for example, I don't even need this on, so I turn it off. Most of these I keep off, but Maps I keep on. Power School, I don't need that on. And yeah, see, most of these I keep off, but I recommend just turning off the entire thing like that, and then, it saves more battery life. Again, going back to the settings, another thing you should turn off is Handoff. This pretty much means you can open, like a Safari, let's just say you're in Safari, you open up a link, you can, open that same Safari link again from the MacBook, but easier. Again, it's pointless. People forgot about this feature. It came out in iOS 8 or 9. No, 9. It came out in 9. But yeah, people forget about it. So you go into settings, you scroll down to general again, and you click on handoff right there. And then you turn it off. It saves battery because, it's not, trying to connect your phone to your other Apple devices and, trying to share data together. So just cut the link, turn it off, save battery, live better, iPhone. Another thing you should turn off for sure is location surfaces, but not the entire thing itself. So let me explain. So you go into general, you go down to privacy, location service. And here, I would keep that on though, because like some apps like Siri and Maps, they, it's best to have that on. Other apps like Photo, I don't need it because it's photo editing. Instagram, sometimes I need it, so that's why I keep it while using or something. Globe Convert, no way. Evernote, hell no. Dictionary, no. But yeah, just scroll through, go through the ones that don't need it. But you're not done here. What you want to do next is go to system service. And in here, you want to turn a majority of these off. Your iPhone sends out even more of your location, and more, uses more battery doing so to track all these down. Because, like, in honesty, you don't need it. Like, Wi-Fi networking, you don't need location for that. Share my location, that doesn't sound like a good thing to do. And location-based Apple ads, no, you turn it off. Including going significant locations. You go in here, and you turn these off. Because basically what this does is Apple and your iPhone track every single place you go to. That's why it takes up more battery, remembering the locations that you go through, or frequent locations, and then that's why you want to turn it off. It's for safety reasons and for battery life reasons. And the final thing you should do, something that I see most people having turned on, you don't even need to go to the settings, but it is AirDrop. A lot of people keep this on, and a lot of people don't know what the AirDrop is. AirDrop is basically sharing files from one iDevice to another iDevice, whether it be an iPad, an iPod, an iPhone, or a MacBook. It pretty much shares files, photos, music, anything like that. It's the easiest way to share it too. That's why I like it so much. But you don't need it on all the time. So what you gotta do to turn it off is you go into Control Center, if I can open it right there, 3D Touch on the this little wireless section, or long hold if you have an iPhone 6 or older, and then you see right down here, turn AirDrop off. You can turn it on when you want to share files, share pictures and stuff with other people in the same area as you. When you don't need it on, you turn it off, and you can save more battery life. I hope these tips help. If they do, you can always click that like button. It means a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.
listen now.